Whoops, forgot to turn on my microphone. Okay, so I'm playing, it looks like Chapter 3 today, starting with the Hidden Throne. First, let's take a look at the the expensive thing. I think I've looked at this before with my Jedi Knight. It's a really cool looking mount, and would be even better if I was a Sith, but Imperial agent, probably not. Oh, a new speeder, okay. So let's close that up, and first things first, let's head on to Drummond Cass. Oh, first things first, yeah, if you see my video last time, I went ahead and changed my outfit, and that should show up on the title card for this episode. Just like I usually like to do after I change my outfit. Gonna appear lead, okay. No holoterminal for this one.
I've just finished cleaning the fuel injectors to the sublight drive. You should notice a 0.00008% power increase.
You are way too eager to please, droid. Way too eager. Alright, well, I'm heading to Drummond Cass. Yes, I was correct. I think last time I seen the old animation, this is the new animation of Drummond Cass. I like it much better. So last time I was commenting, my last video I was commenting about this place that I worked at for tech support back in 1999. And I actually worked it from late 1999 until early 2000. And okay, I'm gonna hide that real quick here just because I don't want to see other people's conversations while I'm doing this. So yeah, this and I mentioned the place was it was called a call center, and it basically, we didn't answer phones for the actual place we worked for. They contracted out to different businesses. Again, the business needed customer service, people to be on the phone. If they needed tech support to be on the phone, they contracted out. And because it was in a rural area or a smaller town, they could pay a lot less because a lot of times these companies, they would offer, it'd be a 1-800 phone call that you'd be making for tech support. I'll check my mail later. So, that's why it was kind of like where it was in Walla Walla.
Ready for departure.
Well, in the Walla Walla
Enjoy your
area.
stay.
It wasn't actually in Walla Walla where this place was located. But again, in the last I was telling, the manager overseeing this specific contract with this company had basically went ahead and gone against everything the company had asked him to do, which was install certain software that we could use to troubleshoot when we get phone calls, and then tell us not to mention this to the company, and then fire an employee who did mention the company as an example. Which to this day, I never figured out why he did any of this stuff. This was weird. This is like a weird flex. I don't understand. Nobody ever explained it. They just did it. And yeah, and even the employees are like, I don't understand why this is happening. It wasn't like this was malicious software or was something huge. It's just, web browsers. It was two different versions of Netscape Navigator, and that was it. We weren't asking for a lot of stuff. It wasn't, causing a lot of resource issues. So basically he did that, and then after that, the company kind of got a little wise to it, because then we'd call up and we'd have to ask for the company had their own tech support. But their tech support was called what was Tier 2. We were Tier 1, which means that we were the ones that the client contacts first, and then if we couldn't help them or if we had questions, we'd contact Tier 2. So there's a lot of people calling them because they're like, okay, we're trying to troubleshoot this and we can't do it. So we'd call them and they're like, well, why don't you guys test this out machine? Well, I can't. What about, oh, and that was another thing. What about the test machines that you guys have? That was another thing too. They told them they'd install them, never did. So again, weird, kind of like the simplest things. Like these are just so simple things. Oh, cutscene.
General Racton and Darth Barris request additional agents.
Relay to Station 7. Updating tactical projections.
I have 3 fixers who need extraction from the Vuta. Listening posts are done, but...
Sir, go on ahead. I'll have the Minders debrief your team while you wait for Keeper.
It looks like you're in crisis mode. What's going on?
It's been like this since the fighting intensified. We've rushed training, gone to 16-hour shifts.
Sir, Operation Kingstalker needs you.
I have to go. I'm sure we'll talk more.
That is very weird. They mentioned Darth Barris. Yay, from the Sith warrior story. So let's see what the Keeper has to say to us.
Cleo Janice, I'll be interviewing you now.
Last girl who tried broke her jaw. Don't be like her.
Watch your ex? No.
It isn't my office anymore, but Keeper is occupied and I thought we should talk. It's been a long time, Agent.
I haven't seen you since Eradication Day. Keeper said you were promoted to Minister of Intelligence.
Yes, my wife says the position suits me.
Scan complete. No listening devices found.
Broadcast mode. White noise 10 minutes, then leave. We may as well be honest. I know about the stolen files. I know you discovered your brainwashing and freed yourself. And yes, I was responsible.
Did you know that Arden Koth was controlling me? I was his puppet.
That was unfortunate and unplanned. The Sith wanted you under control. You survived Darth Jadis. How long before you defied another on the Dark Council? The programming was a safeguard, and if I hadn't approved it, you'd be dead. I don't plan to tell anyone you're free.
The Republic had the keyword. Where did they get it?
That's an excellent question. The SIS should never have possessed Imperial brainwashing codes. Arden Koth's shuttle was found abandoned in space without any data on your shadow arsenal. And according to our records, there's no evidence of an agent hunter ever existing.
He doesn't want us finding any evidence of himself or the operation.
Agreed. Given what we know, I find that disturbing. Someone, your hunter or his employer, is manipulating this war for his own ends. Someone with access to both Republic and Imperial resources. This someone gave Arden Koth your keyword. We need to find out who and why.
Last time I saw Hunter was on Quesh, but he's long gone by now.
Fortunately, the trail is still warm. Yesterday, a man fitting Hunter's description boarded a shuttle to the Isen 4 asteroid colony. 9 hours ago, we received this message.
Imperial Fleet Command, this is Representative Omana Trog of the Isen 4 mining colony. We have been monitoring your victories in this sector. While we continue to accept refugee transports, our defense systems are minimal and our population is 90% civilian. We cannot afford a confrontation. Under Republic law, I am authorized to discuss terms of surrender, all weapons powering down.
Our forces will arrive there tomorrow. We don't know if the colony's surrender is related to Hunter's arrival, but I want you after him.
If Hunter is still at the colony, I'll find him.
Very well. We'll speak again soon.
Yeah, so that doesn't mean he's off the hook, or any of the Sith for that matter. And I didn't defy the Council. Darth Jadis tried to take over. Yeah, this kind of makes, well, of course makes sense. But anyway, okay, yeah, getting back to my story, sorry. Getting too much of my character. My character's, well, part of the reason why I got the whole outfit is I'm my character is disenfranchised with Imperial intelligence and with the Empire as it is. Because he was doing his job. He was trying to save the Empire, and the Empire betrayed him, so now he's disenfranchised, so he's out for himself. So yeah, it was weird. So we're still talking to Tier 2, which is the client, their actual tech support, and they're slowly figuring things out, but again...
Destination?
Okay, I want to go back to... Oh wait, why don't I just use my... Oh, I just did.
Enjoy your stay.
Faster. This way I could actually talk. This way I could tell my story while I'm doing this. Did I start my timer? I did not start my timer. So we don't know why he's doing this. Nobody never got an explanation. Eventually, I eventually left the job without an explanation. So, but yeah, that was the only thing. Because I guess, I end up hearing later on after I left, there's a lot of, besides the person who got fired, who didn't want to hire me, there was a lot of corruption and a lot of back end going on to this company. And they had to clean house at one point because of everything that's going on. So another thing that it was a small annoyance at the time, was everybody they had a lunch truck there, but the lunch truck was only there for like a short period of time. There was no cafeteria. Well, there's a place to sit down and eat, but there was nowhere to buy food, and the place was kind of, it was too far away from town unless you drove a car and you went down, because it was on top of a giant hill. You actually drove to somewhere, got food, came back, and then you had to find a parking spot because parking was at a minimum there. It was very difficult. So most people brought their lunches because getting food was very difficult. Well, of course, they didn't supply any utensils. No paper towels, no utensils. It's like, okay, so you had to bring your own. And most people, unless you kept your utensils with you, other employees would steal your utensils. How many times I'd bring spaghetti and have a fork or spoon with it, and then I'd come and eat it. Well, usually a fork, because I don't eat spaghetti with a spoon. You can if you want, I just don't do it. Or I'd bring something, need a spoon, and my utensils go missing. I'm like, oh, well, that's wonderful. So, like I said, that was just some annoyance. But once things started going downhill, really, we started losing some customers. Because some customers they were like, I don't know if they were just, some of them were starting to hear about something going on there. In fact, that was part of the reason why they started cleaning the house, because customers were hearing about what's going on. They're like, yeah, I'm terminating the contract with your company because we're not dealing with this shady stuff. And eventually the company was losing enough money that they stopped hiring janitorial services, and they stopped stocking the bathrooms with...
Master. You're looking fit and deadly, as always.
Stop kissing up. Yeah, they didn't stock the bathrooms with toilet paper for 2 weeks. So for 2 weeks, people were bringing their own toilet paper from home, or I used to keep Kleenex at my desk, and I got my Kleenex stolen multiple times. For people like, well, I need toilet paper. You got Kleenex. So it just became, and then people would go raiding. You'd keep your stuff at your desk, you're able to lock it, but then they'd go ahead and break the lock. And it started becoming like a madhouse. So yeah, by the time I left there in May of 2020, or not 2020, of 2000. Yeah, May of 2020 was a couple of years ago. And that was mostly just because I was moving up to Seattle. I was like, well, it's a good time to leave now, because I'm leaving the area anyway. But One story I was going to tell is, since I was working there in 1999 and I was working tech support, we got to deal with the Y2K bug. And if you haven't heard what the Y2K bug is, oh, okay, hold on.
It stinks in here. Cripes, what happened?
Stop right there, you slime. No Imperial sets foot in my home.
Last I heard, Isen 4 surrendered to the Empire. What's going on?
Ha! Like you don't know. Someone sabotaged colony control. It started 2 hours after the surrender. First the tram accident, then the air filters, and the decompression. Assassin protocols and the medical droids? We surrendered. Why did you do it?
Whoever's behind this wasn't one of ours.
Then who?
Sedative administered. Lethal overdose possible.
Alright, looks like I gotta fight some guys. Or some robots, as it is.
Alright, make me look
One for
good.
you, one for you, and a big blast in the middle. So, yeah, the Y2K bug, so the whole idea was, you know, the computers at the time, they had limited memory, they couldn't, oh, let me talk to this guy real quick here.
Still alive. Not for long, though. If you want to talk, make it fast.
I need to know if you've seen an SIS agent, codename Hunter.
What? The SIS? He went to colony control before we lost contact. I don't know if he made it out, but now it's sealed up tight. No one could make it past...
Hold still. I have some painkillers.
I need information. And so you're going to stay alive.
Not enough. But thank you.
I don't get queasy, but even I've got limits. Let's find your guy and get out.
Kind of glad that Cleo didn't disapprove of that, because usually she does. Actually, you know what? And I didn't want Cleo for this one. I wanted
another time.
Ensign Temple, actually.
Yes, sir.
But it's a good thing I didn't take her with me to Drummond Koss. Okay. So yeah. Well, most computers, the languages computers were written for were written, I would say, back in the 60s. And back in the 60s, they were, you know, they didn't have a lot of memory, so they to save space or memory, they would write the dates as in 2 digits. So like, I don't know, today's date, which would be October 10th, 2023. So it'd be, or sorry, September. This is September, not October. So it'd be 09 for September, 10 for 10, and 2023 would just be 23. Simple as that. And well, so the problem was, whenever you hit the year 2000, the computers haven't been written, you know, these languages haven't been written. In the 60s would automatically think, oh wait, well, we've used 19 so far, 1960, 1961, 62, 63, so on and so forth. When we hit 2000, we're going to think it's 1900. And that's going to cause issues. And so the thing is, and a lot of people didn't realize this because, you know, people were, you know, back in the 90s, not too many people were very computer savvy in the first place, tech savvy in the first place, and all of that. But you also got a lot of, you know, media and stuff like that, news report. Yeah, those 10 things are going to kill you that are in your cabinet, kind of things going on, and like they don't know how to report on either, so they're reporting. You know, they're reporting, oh, something might happen, you know, Y2K bug. You know, companies are working on this in the background. So people are scared, of course. They're thinking planes are going to drop out of the sky, stock market's going to crash, you know, lights are going to go out and never come back on, but at the same time, things are being worked on. Let's do this cutscene.
Identifying. Colony control systems locked down. Enter code. Remote access in progress.
Don't recognize any of this equipment. If Hunter set it up, we should probably contact headquarters, so we don't, I don't know, blow up the colony?
That's a bomb.
Isen 4 colony to Imperial Intelligence headquarters. Secure routing. This is Cypher 9. There's some sort of device here.
Cypher 9? I got your report, but we can barely read you. What's going on?
I haven't found Hunter, but he left his mark on the control center.
I'm linked into the colony's communications relay. Strange tech interference. Fixers don't recognize it, but I can shut it down.
You followed me. You cut off control. I'm a little put out. Not that it really matters. I'm long gone. I got my massacre, and besides, it was for propriety more than anything.
You this obnoxious to Arden Koth, or am I special?
I tried to behave for the SIS, but for you and me, let's be bad. Look, I don't have anything against that place, but if you want a war to start right, you've got to grease the wheels. When the Republic hears that the Empire slaughtered thousands of colonists who surrendered, there won't be any more peaceful resolutions.
Innocent people are dead. Republic citizens, your people.
Touchy, aren't you? Did I hit a nerve? Time for me to go. And you need to stop coming after me, Cypher 9. Because without anonymity, you won't last long, and I can make your operations very public.
Blast! I couldn't trace him. I'll pull what I can from the machinery, but he's more right than he knows. The survivors are a problem.
How do the survivors pose a threat?
As soon as word gets out what happened, other worlds we've captured will rebel. Watchers 7 and 9 are strategizing. They recommend eliminating the survivors on Isen 4, so the news of the massacre is contained.
The colonists are a resource we can still exploit. We just need them under control.
Sir, look. I can give you the coordinates of the largest cluster of life forms. Maybe you can negotiate something. But I need to send in the death squad soon. Your reputation may be secure, but mine isn't.
Yeah, still not feeling good about killing all the colonists, but this is Imperial Agent. I might have to. We're going on about the Y2K bug. Speaking of machinery. Yeah, so, you know, people in the background are working on this, and by the time the year 2000 rolls around, and it's getting close to midnight, and people are starting to freak out about it, because they're like, oh no, what's going to happen? I'm, as somebody who understands tech a bit, I am 99% certain nothing's going to happen. Of course, there's always that 1% like, maybe I'm wrong. Let's see what this looks like. Huh? So, but anyway, because I was working for a job that does tech support, I wasn't scheduled that night. But at last minute, they went ahead and just, management decided to call everybody in. And yeah, I did not go in because I just pretended I wasn't home because I'm like, I'm not going to go in for this. This is going to be stupid. And yeah, it was. And the bigger thing is, we're on Pacific time. And Pacific time for the U.S., which means that we're one of the few last time zones. So throughout the day, you know, monitoring what's going on in Australia, what's going on in India, what's going on in all these other countries. And then
Take the injured and go! Go!
I am Representative Omana Trog of the Isen 4 mining colony. The fool who surrendered to the Empire. What do you want of us now?
Listen to me, Representative. I want to get your people out of this alive. Tell me what you need to get off this colony. We don't have much time.
You're not serious.
It's the escape pods, sir. They were sabotaged along with everything else.
Fight us.
Not much worse they can do to us, is there? If someone could activate the fail-safes, we could leave this rock.
When you're gone, spread the word. Isen 4 was not destroyed by the Empire. It was a member of the SIS.
Save us and I'll repeat any story you want.
Temple didn't like that one, but you know what? It's gonna have to work. So yeah, by the time it was like, I want to say midday. It was at least 10. By the time it hit the U.S. shores, what, like 9 o'clock? I could full well see that nothing was going to happen with the Y2K bug. That everything was just fine, and yeah, especially given the Washington State and the whole Pacific Coast, there's not a whole lot over here that's kind of, at least in the year 1999, that was really important to like national security or the national, the national airlines or electric grid or anything like that was not over here. So anything that could have gone wrong would have gone wrong before, when it hit East Coast or even Central, the latest.
I am strong.
So yeah, I didn't even bother. Of course, like I said, I didn't go in, and whenever I heard from coworkers later on, and I was like, "Oh, how was it?" Joke around them like it was the most boring night ever. We got like 5 phone calls, and they were to troubleshoot normal stuff. Nobody called for the Y2K bug because nothing happened. And they said a little bit after, about 12:30, they started sending people home. They said, yeah, it was this huge fiasco. They just didn't plan it. Again, wait until last minute, asking people to come in for something that wasn't an issue, and then not having a. And he said part of it, I think it was like they were trying to get a hold of some of the managers, and those managers had gone to bed. Like, well, it's midnight, I'm going to bed, or I'm partying, and like, oh, so I get to come into work and you get to go party. Okay, well, that's great. Yeah, it was nothing. It was absolutely nothing. And like I said, eventually I left the place, I went to move from, let's see if this gets a cutscene or not.
This is Representative Trog. I see that the escape pods are functioning. We thank you. We'll take it from here.
You better. Yeah, don't forget, I saved you. Let's see, it's fastest way back to my ship. Would be that way, and I can't take a mount, can I? Nope. Alright, I'll just walk. So yeah, when I left there, well, they made me, when I started there, they have everybody sign an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. And yeah, I signed one, and it was only for, am I going the right way? I think I am. I think it was like only for 6 months or something like that. So, I mean, it's been over a decade, over 2 decades since I worked there. So anything I say, I can say I don't have to worry about, but I won't mention their name just because I try not to do that anyway with these rants of mine. I try not to mention a whole lot of names when I can. But anybody who's worked there knows what I'm talking about. They know the place. They know what's happened there.
Have I mentioned recently how much I enjoy serving you? I am a lucky droid, Master.
Can I turn you off somehow? Oh, it's like, did I just toggle the thing? Yes, I did. Alright, am I going to get chewed out for letting the people go? There could have been, like, you know what? It's better that it's not. Go all the way back to the Ministry of Intelligence. Yeah, this is the old, okay, and then they show the old animation of Drama Cast again. So you got the new animation and the old animation. Great. Okay, do I want to change that? Let me change that to somebody else. I'm going to change it to Cleo.
Signing off.
Can't live without me, huh?
No, I kind of just don't want my other companions not showing their face at Imperial Intelligence right now. Because I don't know what kind of... I don't know what's going to happen if they show up. If it's going to be nothing or it's going to be an issue. I don't think they'll be taken away from me, but I think it might be an issue later on. But yeah, so yeah, 2 places I've worked tech support for. Actually, I worked tech support. The third place wasn't technically, they called it consumer support, because they didn't call them customers, they called them consumers. And yeah, I can't talk about that place either.
Please use all products only as intended.
Well, I can talk about that place. I just don't dare do it. And that was in 2008, shortly before I got the job, before I started working at the company I currently work at. And man, they were, I mean, they weren't bad. They weren't, I only worked there for a few months. I didn't like it was through a temp agency too, or a contracting agency. That they're the first ones who start saying, no, we're a contracting agency, not temp agency. And like, even though you got temporary workers. And they were like, oh, your contract you can be hired on as a permanent, which all these places were. In fact, almost every job I've gotten every job I've had since I've gotten to Seattle, I think I mentioned this before, was through a temp or contract agency, which is really weird because it's like all these companies like, well, we don't get any people applying for our jobs. Like, well, you guys make it quite difficult to people to apply and for you to get interviews and stuff. In fact, okay, I'll have to back up with that one later on. So yeah, I worked for the third place I worked for. It was troubleshooting. It wasn't a lot of technical stuff. The only real technical thing I'd have to do is I would help people connect the system that they bought to Wi-Fi. And that in itself is usually not that difficult, but there'd be times that people are like, oh, I got Wi-Fi or I don't know how to connect. I got the equipment for Wi-Fi, but I never set it up. And I walked through 2 people setting up their Wi-Fi at their home, which I'm sure didn't look good to my bosses. But at the same time, it's like, you know what? It's a few more minutes, and it's going to look really good for the company. Because then those people can tell their friends and tell family and stuff, like, oh my gosh, I called this company for this thing. And there's the tech that got on the phone, really great person, helped me set up Wi-Fi. And now I'm going to buy more product from them because some of the stuff you can buy is through the internet. So I've just given them another avenue of revenue. Yeah, avenue of revenue. Yeah, kind of works. So yeah, I was like, it's worth the money. It's worth my time.
The Emperor and his proxies have made their intent clear. Their fleets are entering the core systems. They have broken the Treaty of Coruscant. Survivors in the Mid-Rim report the near wholesale slaughter of colonies. Surrender isn't enough. They only want death. Let there be no mistake. We are at war.
Display off. Tell me, Cypher, what's your assessment of your mission at Isen 4?
The mission was a failure. The target escaped, and I couldn't prevent the massacre.
But you found the device used in colony control, and that's what we needed. Fixer 12 recognized the override technology from Operation Starbender 8 years ago. That mission was also an anomaly. How are the new Watchers working out?
Their brains are faster than mine, sir, and they don't need as much sleep. This generation seems promising.
It's been a while since we spoke in person, sir.
Tell him about Starbender.
Starbender was a disaster, or it should have been. A pirate fleet was about to destroy an Imperial base when the pirates' flagship exploded. It was sabotaged by unknown persons. We were saved using the same technology that destroyed Isen 4. Realizing that, I reviewed other lucky incidents, Operations Morning Crest and Vanity, looking for other occurrences of this technology.
That's when you found the recording?
Yes. Caught by accident 4 years ago, simultaneous with Morning Crest.
Reporting. I am inside the SIS. Maintain cover for 6 months, then proceed. Guard your thoughts when near the Jedi. Understood.
These people have been intervening in our affairs. I assume you recognize the voice.
I recognize the servant, but not the master.
Yes, go on.
At the Minister's suggestion, the Watchers and I began searching the unsolved case files for patterns of outside intervention. We found 62 relevant incidents so far. The oldest go back centuries, before the Empire revealed itself to the galaxy. But 9 are from the past 5 years.
Whom do you deem responsible?
In my analysis, an organization with espionage training and extensive resources, unaffiliated with the Republic or the Empire. Motivations unknown.
You must have some guess where they come from, what they're after.
We are working on it. The pieces just aren't there.
With the Republic at our doorstep, now is not the time to be chasing conspiracies and ghosts, but we have little choice. Someone is manipulating this war. Someone who destroyed the Shadow Arsenal and Isen 4, who gave the SIS your keyword. I need you to find these invisible agents before they do something catastrophic.
I'll expose these people, and I'll learn the truth.
We've identified 13 possible leads on the enemy, all off-world. We'll narrow those down by the time you reach your ship.
Good. Get an hour's rest, then return to work. I have a conference with Darth Baras and the Minister of War. I'll keep this operation secret as long as I can, but our foes will find out. Be wary.
Yeah, I didn't even think about selecting the, after we're done with this, after this, I'm done with you. I was thinking about that and like, maybe not yet. Maybe I won't say that yet, but that's exactly what I'm thinking. Oh, hell, that's something right now. I'm done with you, but kind of using Imperial intelligence to get back at Hunter. I mean, my
Seeing
character.
you return to this ship always warms my circuits, Master. It reminds me I am still functioning.
Stop kissing up.
This is Watcher 6 to Cipher 9. Initial target assessment is complete. Recommend you proceed to Planet Belsavis for operational briefing.
On my way. Any details yet?
My conclusions would be misleading. Uploading hyperspace coordinates and new security codes. Be aware that in times of war, clearance must be reconfigured every 6 hours. Watcher 6 out.
This whole conspiracy tripe, you really think we're gonna find something?
I think prudence is a virtue in times like these.
They sent us summary briefing files, sir. Whatever you need, we'll be ready.
You haven't had it easy since coming on board. Everything that's happened.
Oh, I haven't followed half of it, but I'm committed to trying.
Yeah, all right. Strap in.
Again, I'm just out for revenge. And once that's achieved, I'm done with the Empire. Done being manipulated. Okay, how long have I been playing? I have no idea because I didn't usually start a timer and I didn't start it this time. You know what? Let me go ahead and do, yeah, let me do some conversations real quick here. I also want to change Isen Temple's outfit.
Sir, since our combat session went so well, I thought we might try something else. Lessons in interpersonal manipulation and information extraction. Lecture 1 entitled...
Once they think they need you, they'll tell you anything.
Descriptive name, sir. Is it always about need? When I first arrived at Zero Station, no one trusted me. I was the human Imperial who must have been a spy. But I learned my way around. And once the Chiss accepted my competence, it was easy to make friends.
I'm not the only one who finds you charming.
And yet, I'm still here. More seriously, though, I'm stuck somewhere, infiltrating a gang of spy stealers. How do I play it?
You blend into the background and wait for an opportunity. Don't stir the pot unless you know what you're in for.
I'll happily leave that to you, then. I don't know what you think of my potential, sir, but I do appreciate your guidance. I've been deceiving people like an amateur for years. Time I started doing it right.
Well, part of being a spy. Okay, so we got Temple. Do we have a conversation with the doctor? Yep.
Doctor, you wanted to talk.
Yes, and I'm terribly sorry to take your time, but I have a small request. To be frank, it's a bit of an embarrassment.
You have my undivided attention.
I told you before about my safe houses, how my intruder alarms have been going off. I attributed it to local happenstance. I may have been mistaken. My safe house on Balmora exploded.
Would you like to elaborate on that?
Very much, but my scanners melted 0.7 milliseconds after activation. I could theorize regarding who did this and why, but truthfully, all I know is someone bypassed Imperial security to get inside. I'll need to see the safe house in person. I'll return as soon as I can.
You could be walking into a trap. Stay alert, Doctor.
And you.
Oh, I didn't ask to go with them. He'll be right back.
Well, I'm afraid the news is mixed. My safe house did, indeed, burn to the ground, along with 3 would-be assassins who were attempting to wire it with explosives. Apparently, my security triggered their bombs prematurely.
I assume you're trying to ID these people.
I did acquire genetic samples of the intruders. I'll be running traces shortly. One was a human male. The others, uncertain. Regardless, they used Imperial equipment and codes to get inside. Someone in the Empire wants me dead.
Supposing you're right, what do you intend to do about it?
The list of people with grudges against me is a long and varied one. It will be some time before I narrow it down. But I take comfort in the fact that I'm once again viewed as a threat. My days in retirement are over.
Okay. It's always good to have a threat up on board. Oh wait, most of you are threats. Oh, no Cleo. I do have a Vector.
Agent, you recall we spoke to the diplomatic service about building an alliance between Empire and Kilix? Falner Eth, the man who offered his backing in return for our assistance, has asked us for his first favor.
What's our diplomat friend after?
Falner wants our notes on various families and unaligned worlds in the Questal sector. He means to bring that sector into the Empire. We worked in Questal a long while, and we knew its people well. It's odd to see someone else take the reins.
You don't talk about your old life.
We don't often have a reason to think about it. We do miss negotiating, reaching out to understand people, synthesizing their needs. Dizana of the Lesai Nest says that desire makes us a better joiner. It's only small comfort.
You haven't forgotten your training. Even as Dawn Herald, you're an ambassador.
Perhaps. But seeing men like Falner again, we think it's best if he handles negotiations. Apologies, Agent. This is something we need to think on more deeply. But we are glad you stand by us.
Every time I see Vector, have you ever seen there's an old movie called Airplane. If you've never seen Airplane, it's a really good movie. And Yeah, there's a guy named Victor. If you see the movie, you know what I'm talking about, Victor and Vector, and yeah. I'm not going to repeat it because I'm not going to be able to do it justice. All right, well, I am going to do one more thing, and then I'm going to log out for today, and that last thing is look at my outfits. Ooh, actually, you know what? I'm going to go to my stronghold. So maybe I'll cut this part out, or I can just leave it in. I could leave it in there, and then whoever is watching this later on can cut it out later, or just skip it. Because I have a lot of outfits, but I want to go ahead and get let's get my Raina over here.
Another time.
Isen Temple.
Orders, sir.
Let's get you a new outfit. You're going to be coming on missions with me. I want you to look good and proper. First, check out what I got. And oops. See, she looks like Battler Jacket. No, not really. Got much in Bay 2. Force Veteran. Yeah, that makes her look like a Jedi. Don't need that. Okay, well, let's look in this one, Legacy Stronghold. See what we got over there for her. Nope. Nope. Well, of course, I'm pulling out Jedi stuff. And Sith. Possible? Maybe not, so too much for her, for this character. Workable. It's bound to Legacy. It's not bad. Finds unequipped, not gonna do. Again, with the backpacks, I know they're first like bounty hunters and stuff, but I like the backpack stuff. Always not very much a fan of. Try this one. Agent jacket. Okay, I don't like the antennas, but I do like the jacket a bit. Oh, binds unequipped. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Found Legacy. Oh, okay. Actually, this one might actually work. She's got some very wide hips, though. Although I think that's just a character. So let's do binds to Legacy unequipped, huh? Not quite sure what that means. Do I have any other codes or anything I could try her on? Have her try on? I think I already tried this one, yeah. Ooh, do I want to go binds unequip? No, again, the antenna thing. Do not like the antenna thing. That's more materialistic. Middle. I can't pronounce words. Military looking. That's what I meant to say. Well, I'm gonna figure something out here. I don't want to. Yeah, that's not really working for her though. See, this one's probably the closest I've the ones I like. You know what? Maybe I will look again at the backpack. Oh, I wonder if maybe this with a different color though. Okay, so that one's not actually bad. I thought I had to. Okay, let's do that one, and then we will do. So it's this one, and then do these pants look okay? Actually, these ones look a little bit better. So let's do these pants. Oh, they bind on equip. Okay, doggone it. I don't like to do that because it's like for companions, because then I want to change their outfit later on for some other reason. And maybe I want to. Oh, these ones actually work really well. Let's try those. The color scheme's really good on those. Okay. And I was looking at this color. Let me see what the colors got. Maybe? Maybe that, huh? What do I want to stay? Let's stay with this one. Ooh, I got 10 of these. Let's see how many. Let's look at some of the ones I got multiple ones of. They might. No, that's ugly. That's not bad. Yeah, let's go this color. Okay, good. That has a dye module. Okay, let's do that. So we'll do character sheet, companion. Do this. And these. And modify the dye pack. Oh, does that look actually better? You know what? I think that looks better with the colors not unified. Because you got different color pants. I'm going to leave it like that. That looks much, much better. Perfect. I like her that way. That looks much better. And yeah, I can get rid of this pants. Not worried about the belt. Okay. I'll worry about the other stuff later. But so far, yeah, it looks good. I like the way she looks. And I think I will leave it at that. So I'm going to head back to my ship, and then I'm going to go log out. Return to Phantom. Maybe I'll leave this part in. I'll see how long it took me. It was like 5 minutes or if it's 2 minutes. I don't think it took me 10 minutes. All right. Well, once again, thank you for listening to my rants, and thank you for watching. And until next time.